Hey, what's up everyone? So last video I was talking about wanting to move the stingrays up into the 2200 up here. As you can see, I'm beneath the stand. I am working on a few things. So I want to make sure this tank is in tip-top shape, ready for the rays, because you know they need pristine, crystal clean water. So what I am doing under there, I am going through replacing the socks on the filter that's beneath the stand, and replacing the pump that went bad. I temporarily put a larger pump that was on it, and I have it pumping up to the top over there. Now I think I want double the flow, so I'm just going to replace the pump that was originally running and see if I can get that running in, you know, chain with that one over there and be able to have twice the flow through here so the rays can be extra happy. Then I have a filter up on top that I have to clean as well. So I'm gonna get all this done, and then we can think about moving some fish. Going through the tank, there's a couple fish in here that I'll probably end up rehoming. Like I've got 4 or 5 of the albino gibbosebs plecos. I don't really need them, so I'll probably rehome 3 or 4 of them. I've got some Oscars in here. I'm gonna keep the Starburst guy because he's a little special to me. But I'm gonna go ahead and rehome these albino tiger Oscars, stuff like that. We'll just go ahead and clear out some room, and some other people get to enjoy some nice fish. Alright, so you know if you're dealing with monster tanks, you sometimes run into some monster problems. Well, I told you I was working on getting the second pump going and having twice the filtration on the 2200. You know, you could just up the flow, and that's double the amount of water that's being filtered. Well, I didn't think about this part, and I turned the second pump on, got it all running, and it kicked up so much dirt. It kicked dirt out of the socks that I didn't change yet, and the tank is just foggy, dirty. The hoses that I had running up to each of the chambers, they were just filled with dirt. As soon as I kicked it on, it just spewed out all that dirt, and then the rush of water knocked dirt off of the socks and into the water column. So I'm gonna let this filter probably for another couple hours, maybe overnight, and then I'll start working on cleaning the socks tomorrow. I have to do a little bit of some modifications because there is 8 5-inch socks in a 4-foot by 4-foot fiberglass sump that's beneath this tank. All the water comes in, goes through the socks, and then goes through the bags of media and gets pumped back up. That's also on that sump. I have a drain going outside, and all the water that gets fed in through it, through the drip system. All the water that goes from the 750 drains into that sump. All the water that comes through the 600 here, through the dog bone, also comes into that sump, mixes with this water, and then goes out. So I have a constant stream. There's a half-inch line there. There's a half-inch and a little less, a 3/8 line coming through here. So flushing through all of these tanks and then coming in here. So if you add that up, you probably got about a little over 1.25 inch hose flowing through this 2200 at all times. So it's being fed from the pond. It is all on one giant loop. So this will be cleared out in no time, and I think it'll be great for the stingrays. Once the water's cleared up, I'm gonna go ahead and drain this down just a tad bit, and then I can get in there and start catching fish and placing them elsewhere. I might leave some in there for a while. I might even add a couple rays in at a time, just so, you know, we don't shock the tank or something like that. But I thought it was just disgusting when I came out under the stand and I looked up at this tank and I said, oh man, I messed up. Because you know what? Even the best of us sometimes make mistakes, and this was one of those mistakes. I should have cleaned the socks first. Alright, it's been a few hours, so the water's cleared up a ton. There's still some particulates in there that'll slowly get filtered out, but I can at least see through the water now and be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to attempt to be able to catch some of these guys and move them to their corresponding tanks, and then If that doesn't work out, I'll end up having to drain this tank, which I really don't want to do. So I'm going to try really, really hard. All right, so after a few failed attempts, these Oscars got the best of me. They've got 6 foot from front to back and all this length of the tank to be able to run from me. I wasn't able to catch these guys out, so tomorrow's agenda, which is going to be part 2 to this video, is going to go ahead and drain this completely down. Maybe get about that much in there, maybe halfway, I don't know. But I'm going to have to actually get inside this tank. I'm going to have to catch these fish, so the Oscars, the plecos. We'll go ahead and catch out the redtails. And we might leave the iridescent sharks in here for now. I'm not sure. Probably leave the gar. But the redtails definitely have to come out because they will eat up the stingray babies. I'll probably end up leaving the platinum arrow in here as well. Most of these guys will be going into the 4400 over here. There might even be a few guys I can push from in this tank and put out into the pond. So we shall see about that tomorrow. But along with that work getting done, there's something that we want to get done simultaneously that also involves draining a tank and catching fish. Let's go take a look. All right, yes, we're out here in the monster pond room. And this probably won't be on tomorrow's video. My dad might be doing a video on this, but we have to catch out all of the koi. For one, we're going to be putting the ones that we want into the 500 cube over here. Oh, you guys didn't even see. I'll be right back. Bam. So if you guys remember, this was a coral insert. Now, I didn't bother bleaching it. There's just a little bit of algae on it. Makes it blend in a bit more instead of being a bright coral piece, because so many people give us crap for having coral in a freshwater tank. Well, I don't care. It looks good, and we have it here on hand. This was a $1,800 living color coral insert. We had 3 of them in the 1,000. We ended up getting rid of 2 of them to the Electric City Aquarium. We kept the one oddball purple one. They got the 2 matching blue ones. But this one was in the monster pond over here against this wall. But because we have big, giant fish all over the place, these guys come by and they really do damage. And you guys are always asking, why don't you have, you know, plants in the monster pond? Why don't you have this? Why don't you have that? And the simple, you know, answer is they don't allow it, because monster fish do exactly what they want. They'll rearrange a tank, they'll move stuff where they want, and this guy got broken. I was in there doing a little bit of maintenance, and I noticed there was a hole on the backside. The only thing I could think is maybe the big arapaima, one of the gars or the catfish came up and whacked it, tried getting between it and the wall, and they just said boom, and they went ahead and broke it. So I said, this tank is looking a little barren since I took the wood out. So might as well put the little coral insert. I think it looks good with the variety and color of the goldfish. You'll have a bit more koi in here. And then this will open up the door for us to get rid of the rest of the shack koi. So, you know, we started off with so many koi. And, you know, this is what we're left with. Because just because you have 2,000 eggs doesn't mean you're going to be left with 2,000 fish. You know, sometimes they just have weird diseases and they die off, and you get left with what you have. Normally it's in a pond and you normally don't count numbers, but in here we were able to monitor, and we are safe to assume that these guys will be good to move out to pond. So you can see some of them are monster size. Well, I wouldn't say monster size, but they are a mammoth compared to some of these other ones. That guy's a huge one. There's some of these other ones, like this guy, he's still teeny tiny. But there are some beautiful koi in here. My dad wants to keep all of the butterfly ones for the pond out back. So that is okay. There's probably about 8 of them in here. So those will all be staying. And then there's one in here that I really, really like. And it's this guy right there. He's got the white head and then the burnt orange body in the back with the big mirror scales. Just absolutely love that guy, so I want to go ahead and catch him out and keep him. And then there's probably like 1 or 2 more that we'll pick out that are just, you know, exceptional quality. Like, look at this guy. He's a beautiful koi. But like that guy's pretty cool right there. And then for the rest, we'll go ahead and put them back in the, you know, 1.95 back there, and we'll either do a raffle or we'll figure out some way, but we will be getting rid of the rest of the shack koi. So you guys could have a chance at owning one. There is a limited number of baby shack koi. All right, and as I'm walking by, to give you an update, the tiger fish is looking great, doing good. This arapaima is putting on so much weight recently. He went on a growth spurt. He's just been eating like a madman. So he's been stacking on that belly weight, and he's put on a little bit in length and girth too. So pretty soon I'll be able to move him up to his new tank as well. But we do have some new fish coming in soon. Reaper is picking them up, and you guys will be surprised what he went and picked up. A lot of the fish we have plans for already, so you guys are gonna have to stay tuned and figure out what that is, what the fish are. You guys can probably check it out on Reaper's channel in 2 days. Yeah, there you go. And then I'll probably give you guys a little sneak peek of what came in the next video that I pop out. So we'll see about that. But I am just amazed at how clean and clear the tanks are. I got to get in and get all the algae off this side. I figured out the problem here in this tank. You can see on this side there was no algae, then this side there was algae everywhere. Somehow the lights got moved on top, and there was 2 lights beaming down right here on the front of this glass. So I fixed them, put them back in place, and go ahead and scrape this off, and that should not happen no more. But I do have Jerry in the frame. He always tries to stay out of the camera view. But I've got some work to do on this tank tomorrow. But I'm gonna go ahead and work on getting the socks out, and that'll be the start to tomorrow's video, which will be the part 2 of this. This is going to be a big task to move all of these fish. I'm gonna have to be inside, and there's others gonna have to be outside taking the fish and placing them where they need to go. You know, sometimes people think having monster tanks is fun and easy. Well, it's not always easy when you have to catch them out, because you can't just stick a net in and grab them. Sometimes you gotta drain the water, and you gotta get in these mammoth aquariums. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Catch me in part 2, and we will finally get these fish out, and we will get the stingrays in their new tanks. As always, stay fishy, my friends.